All right, Silent Hill 2, new storyline trailer just dropped, and so this has been in the works by Team for a few years now. It is basically, Konami seen Capcom's success with Resident Evil remakes, so now they're being like, "Hey, Silent Hill, we have that. Let's try and do something with it." And of course, Silent Hill is like one of those. It's one of those franchises where everybody is like, "Silent Hill's back," and then they slowly start to complain about everything that gets made with Silent Hill, or they just don't buy it. And yeah, it's like Silent Hill is always this weird franchise where the fan base. I mean, there is some, every fan base has it. Final Fantasy fan base is probably one of those worst ones out there where everybody complains about everything also. But it's Silent Hill. So we're gonna check it out. I wasn't the biggest fan of Silent Hill. I tried it. I did like a retro rewind couple nights on stream a couple of years ago at this point, where I just tried like the first like couple hours of every single Silent Hill because there's like four of them, five of them, something like that. I still have not played PT. I still have not actually gotten hands on with actual PT. That's going to come in October. I'm going to save that one for Halloween time. I finally have the ability to get hands on with PT, so that'll be really cool. But Silent Hill 2, this is everybody calls everything a remake now. I think this is more of a remaster, but this is technically take two of this video. So I watched maybe like the first minute and a half of the video so far. It there is extra cutscene stuff in here, I do believe, because I'm pretty sure the original, like, there wasn't that much room on the disc back in the day. I don't think they had full on FMV cutscenes to the extent that this does. If that's adding extra storyline to it, that's a good thing. And also, redoing the gameplay controls and everything, the combat, mechanics and all that. Although Silent Hill, it's like one of the easiest games out there. You can literally you don't even have to engage with the enemies. You can just run around them. Anyways, let's get into this. Let's do it. Let's check it out. Story trailer, Silent Hill 2. Let's go. Konami Digital.
James?
Bloober
Honey.
Team. Fun name.
Did something happen to you
Bloober.
after we got separated in that long hallway? Are you confusing me with someone else? You were always so forgetful. Remember that time in the hotel?
Are you taping again?
So this is his actual wife, I do believe, or girlfriend or whatever, and then the other one is like a mental projection image of her. So I've seen pretty much the whole story, a majority of the story of this, of the original, by somebody else playing through it on stream, and then I tried to sit down and play, and I was like, man, I'm getting bored. I'm a Resident Evil guy, so I like action and action explosions and stuff, and this is more of a venture. Take your time, figure out where keys go into doors type of thing. So,
Come on.
but yeah, these extra cutscenes like this and everything, that goes a long ways into keeping my attention of like, okay, give me regular story beats to get me, keep my attention immersed into the world, and just to tell me, okay, this is what this character is going through. This is why we care about this character, why we give a shit, really. Yeah.
I don't know why, but I just love it here. It's so peaceful.
I'm guessing this is Silent Hill, maybe? Again, I don't know everything about Silent Hill 2. I know this is a
My
very big
restless
cult classic
dreams.
with everyone.
I see that town.
This looks, I mean, so far this looks really good visually wise, and also, so this came out back in the day where, like, even back in the day, I didn't know what the film grain was. I always used to call it static when I was younger, because you'd have static on the TV when you're trying to tune in the rabbit ears on the TV, because that's when this game came out, was from that era. Way back before cable was everywhere, and we had to get over the airwaves TV and all that stuff. So that's, yeah, again, that is this era where this is coming from. And just to see the visual quality that they're trying to bring in on this, it's very realistic and shiny looking. That's cool.
You promised you'd take me there again someday. But you never did. Well, I'm alone there now, in our special place.
Just put the gun to their head.
And you can't show a scene like that in games nowadays because it's against rules and regulations around the world. Literally cannot show anything of deleting yourself.
Can't just
And the fact that we have to say delete yourself nowadays. Jeez, YouTube. Ah.
kill someone because the way they looked at you.
You should see your face, Jane.
Let go!
I'm sorry, Laura, but I can't let you just run around this place. You might get hurt.
Hurt by what?
It is different voice casts on this. I'm pretty sure there was some pushback when they were showing the last trailer of this, but in all honesty, it's like how many years has it been since that voice cast did the original game? You're gonna need some new voices in here for just actors, actresses wise. But the faces look pretty damn good. It seems like they definitely are scanned in faces. So you got I mean this one back here that we just seen, like the little girl's face, that's high quality, high res. That's good. And just the as soon as it's in motion too.
This place is different from what I remember. I don't think she's here anymore.
This whole town. Might be best if you just get out of here.
Yeah, you're right.
You said you took everything. But you forgot that videotape we made.
How do you know about that? Aren't you Maria?
I'm not your Mary.
So you are Maria.
I am. If you want me to be.
How do you know about Mary?
You see it too? For me, it's always like this.
Find me in Sound Hill. Or
Doesn't matter who I am.
the old VCR. See, I told you, like back in this era. Yeah, so there's a lot of like, alternate reality stuff that goes on in Silent Hill you get stuck in the world in between.
I am here for you, James. See? I'm real.
This just feels like a really slow version of Alan Wake 2. And even Alan Wake 2 was pretty slow for the first like quarter of the game. And that's one of the things that's making me go, I don't know if Silent Hill 2 is my thing, because when I was playing through Alan Wake 2, I pretty much like when I was streaming it and when I was trying to do content on it, I kind of dropped it after the first like 3 or 4 chapters, because it took like 3 solid chapters to finally kick in and be like, okay, now now we're doing puzzles, now we're shooting things, now we're using lines of sight to line up puzzle pieces and everything. And I feel like that first 3 chapters of Alan Wake 2 is kind of the speed of Silent Hill 2. It's a little slow in my book. It's a little bit like, okay, and a lot of this, like him sitting in the chair like this, it'd be like if Alan Wake finds his wife there, and then he's sitting in front of the TV like this. It's almost like him and Scratch or whatever, and he's trying to figure out. Yeah, there's probably a lot of Silent Hill 2 inspiration in Alan Wake 2 for sure, because again, Silent Hill 2 is like one of these games a lot of people played it back in the day. Like I was just hearing Glenn, the former studio head who literally made Dead Space. He was like he was basically saying like how Silent Hill 2 and OG RE4 were two of his, or Resident Evil 4 were two of his biggest inspirations for Dead Space. It was like, oh, it's cool to hear that. And to me, I think like Dead Space is kind of better than Silent Hill 2, just of the atmosphere and the as things are popping at you. But again, it's a shoot 'em up, you know. So again, it seems like they're doing an all right job with this. It just might not be my thing completely. I think I'm like willing to give it a try. I don't know if I would fully like it or not. I'm willing to give it a try just on the fact that like Resident Evil 4 remake, I didn't really like the OG Resident Evil 4 either. I thought it was just kind of, I don't know. There's a lot of corniness and cheese that happens in OG RE4, and I think Resident Evil 4 remake kind of ironed out a lot of that stuff and made it more of my style of a game where it's like it's not so much grounded in reality, but it's not so like popcorn cheesy. Um, and that's, I'm wondering with Silent Hill 2 if this might actually get me into Silent Hill in a way of like, okay, you know, controls, you know, there's a little bit of a learning curve to fighting the enemies. The controls aren't bad. Which I'm not saying the original controls are bad. I'm just saying like the controls are better fine tuned, I guess. And maybe the story is a little more engaging. And again, if you're one of those people that didn't really like Silent Hill back in the day, this could be the thing that does that and drags you into the franchise a little bit better. I think that's what, in all honesty, I think that's the reason why this is happening, is that Konami's trying to figure out like, hey, I mean, Konami is out for the money. We know this about Konami. They have always been that way. They're always going to be that way, most likely, unless a lot of new management gets in there. But yeah, if they do it, if they do Silent Hill 2 on the same level that like the Resident Evil remakes are, and it's very cinematic, draws, you know, you kind of have that feeling like you're playing a movie, but at the same time, you know, you're doing a lot of stuff like puzzles and everything else in there. This could land pretty good. If it is just Silent Hill 2 with a new, you know, updated look to it, I don't know. Okay, really quickly, there is an extra actual bit of gameplay, a gameplay demo that got dropped. So let's just check this out real quick and see exactly what everything's looking like. The number one thing I definitely was noticing was so the beginning of the video. I'm about 9 minutes in. This is, I do believe this is the bar that is, oh no, okay, so this is a record shop. This does feel very like Resident Evil, but at the same time it's kind of Resident Evil with the oh, you could really use a light. Nice. It's kind of, you know, the fog, I don't know, something about the fog for me, it takes away from the environment. And I get like, you know, it's a fog, you know, you don't know what's coming around the next corner and everything, but this is something that's always bugged me with Silent Hill. It's like the fog is 100% a major staple of Silent Hill. Anytime the fog rolls in IRL, you start going Silent Hill outside and all that stuff. I get it. It just feels like it takes away from like, okay, what this was just a regular town. Janitor came in the other day, drunken in tears. Half a record with him, yelling, fix it somehow. This is what I was talking about like Mount Hill is very slow pace. And it just almost feels too slow pace for me. Alright, so probably one of the most known scenes in Silent Hill 2 is the bar. I'm going to slightly fast forward through. Again, it's just so slow pace of... Put the vinyl. Okay, so you got the 2 vinyl record pieces. You put those 2 together with super glue, and it's going to transport you into the Never Never Land. Would say. So I'm definitely noticing the little, again, it's got that little touch of Resident Evil in there now, where they're kind of like highlighting the items. You got to get a key for a door, and all that, and yeah, grabbing the maps off the walls and such. You are here. Feels like they're trying to do a very, very dark atmosphere with this. Which the original Resident Evil didn't really have that. It was just more or less like film grain everywhere, so you could see where you're going. Now we get a flashlight. So they are going more spooky with it. Didn't mean to pause there. Okay, so then you got the key. And there's a dress. And this is kind of similar to... There's like a part of me that wants to say like this is sort of similar to The Last of Us when you're checking all the drawers and everything, but this is even slower than that too, because like The Last of Us, when you go into a room, it's just like bam, 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 bam. You're checking the walls, you're checking drawers. It could just be the way they're playing it too. Like they're trying to walk around and make this feel very like you know atmospheric and. I think if I was to jump into this, yeah. So again, kind of a Last of Us type of thing. Let's go forward a little bit here. Again, this whole video is available on YouTube. Just in the interest of time. All right, so some handgun ammo. They're going to give us a pistol, and how many times do we got to shoot something to drop it? Because if enemies are a little too bullet spongy, then it's becomes kind of annoying. It's not so much of, you know, survival wise. It's more in like, why won't you die? I do like this where it's like into cinematic moment happening like this. It draws you into it a little bit more. And then there's going to be a bunch of oogly booglies out here. One shot, 2 shot. You wasted half of your ammo. Okay, so now we have a nail bat. again, it's just so slow paced. It feels like nothing's happening. And this is my problem with Silent Hill is it's just too damn slow paced for me. I was getting sucked in when the cinematic moment happened of like, okay, who's the girl sitting in, and then all of a sudden it's just like him walking around in the dark, jumping through a window, pick up item, hit key and door, and the moments between that is just like, okay, something jumped at me, oogie boogly, ah. I think if I had my way with Silent Hill, I think I would not so much that it has to be like blow everything up, explosions every 2 seconds and all that stuff, but just a little bit more happening than what we're seeing here. Like all of a sudden, okay, I got to run down the hallway because the doors are shaking or something. You got to haul ass through the hallway to get to the end of the hallway before thing grabs you or something. I don't know. Or you're running through and like the puzzles don't take an hour to get one puzzle done. It's just like, okay, that was 10-minute puzzle or whatever. Okay, that thing is there. All right, so I'm gonna run through this door over here real quick, go grab the thing out of this other room. There's gonna be a couple oogle booglies in the other room. It's like that kind of pacing, and I just don't feel that with Silent Hill. But Silent Hill is not supposed to be that. It's supposed to be slow. It's supposed to be eerie. It's supposed to be scary and everything. So, yeah. Yeah, I think that's my final thought. Again, this is what I'm saying to expect out of me for Silent Hill, where everybody else is probably losing their minds. I'm just like, I don't know. But anyways, that's gonna do it for this one. Again, I don't know. Maybe I will like it if I get hands on with it. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by. And as always, I will see you next time.